Let's start this properly. Stephen?
That was distorted. Andrew!
What are you doing up so late on a school night?
They decided to show Inside Number 9 at 9:30 on a Monday.
Mate, I've forgotten to press record.
Here they all are, 9 people seeing how the sausages are made.
Oh, I'm not making any sausages here. Right. We can make a sausage now.
Cool.
It's recording.
Cool. Go again then.
Stephen!
Andrew!
What are you doing up so late on a school night?
Inside Number 9, mate.
Oh, good. Yeah, you've already told me why you're up.
Can I just say that after that episode, I feel a little bit seen.
Horrifically so. I was going to suggest we don't do this because I don't know.
Yeah,
it's not cool, is it?
it felt like a bit of a brutal attack for half an hour, to be honest. It's made me rethink some things.
What's it made you rethink?
Making a podcast.
It's made me rethink craft work.
I can only now think of them in like a Game of Thrones style tune.
Yeah. It took me the best part of the episode to work out what that was, and even then you had to tell me. So that was okay, so let's introduce this properly. So this is the reaction episode to Simon Says, episode 2 of series 6. We're recording this live with a chat going on of the Inside Number 9 fandom, which seems highly appropriate. The episode was directed by Guillermo Morales, produced by Adam Tandy, and written by Rhys Shearsmith and Steve Pemberton. It first aired
now
38 minutes ago on BBC Two, 17th of May 2021.
Well done.
Thank you. So
Being quite slick with that. You're breaking up a little bit.
Am I?
Here and there. You're getting a bit overdriven.
Am I getting excited?
You sound that way.
I'll see if I can change that. So, like, what erection? What's your first?
Let's erect. So, yeah, it was like I said, change of pace from the last one,
Mm-hmm.
and it seemed very much, I think, a critique of the obvious. The obvious was like Game of Thrones and the way that was reacted to, but I think it was also talking a lot to any show that for some reason people decide that they own, and therefore if the outcome isn't exactly what they wanted it to be, then it's a personal attack on them and deserves to incur their wrath. Is how it feels.
Do you think there was calculation in having it as the like the follow up to Wuthering Heist, and the kind of, because the reaction to that one seemed quite divided.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's almost as though people have forgotten how to get a bit silly with Inside Number 9. It's almost as though people have forgotten that the second ever episode included dogs running around, giant dogs running around a house, whole bits of dialogue, not dialogue, with someone going for a poo, just all this silly stuff that people suddenly for some reason don't associate with Inside Number 9 anymore. And so I don't really understand why it was. I guess I can understand why maybe the puns, but again, having a negative reaction to something someone else has written isn't their fault.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I don't think that you can pigeonhole Inside Number 9 enough to say that was out of character for the show, because it doesn't have quite that sort of identity where you know exactly what you're going to get. And so you don't really have a right to be disappointed. It's fine to say that wasn't for me. And to be fair, a lot of the people that have sort of responded to us and things have said, wasn't for me, I didn't quite get it. But there are some people who are just a little bit sort of needlessly scathing about it.
Yeah, I suppose it's the difference when it becomes sort of like an entitlement to the thing, and it's like a sense of you owe me, what I want. And what they want is a surprise, and it's like, or what we want, should I say?
Some negative reaction the other week when Line of Duty finished, because
I was
people
thinking
people had an expectation of what they thought was going to happen, and so they have this unreasonable, visceral reaction to it being something else. And I don't think that anyone who does that really understands, who do you think these people are that they're writing? You choose to enjoy, or you enjoy what they write. If you suddenly stop enjoying what they write, that's not their problem.
I think there's always something
Jen
about
Mercurier's problem
about the end of a series as well, isn't there? Like I would hate to have to finish a series, like not just a series, but like an entire kind of show. To complete a show must be impossible, because you just can't do it in a satisfying way. Like if you're going to do it, I mean, for me, a satisfying ending is one that would be completely like loose ends everywhere, no sense of another thing coming, but like nothing wrapped up. Like I don't like nice, neat, bowed finishes with like romantic ends.
This is just Twin Peaks: The Return that you're talking about right now, isn't it?
Yeah. Which again elicited
if I'm going to see something end, I want it to be like Twin Peaks: The Return.
I want it to be like, what's just happened? What? What? and it evokes outrage and also just great joy. So yeah, we should say. So we've got a chat going as we're recording this. We'd love to hear reactions or iractions. Sorry, Simon. It is you fans that make us.
Of the fans, by the fans, for the fans.
Yeah. So definitely a Chekhov's appearance in this one.
The trophy. You could bash a man's head in with it. And
that's how you knew that he wasn't dead.
I knew he wasn't dead. Oh, because it wasn't his brains. He was stabbed with it.
Him. Yeah.
It was also done behind a frosted glass window, which was the big giveaway for me, because it's not like Guillermo Morales generally is a bit squeamish about showing stuff on screen. So when he was pushed behind some frosted glass that you couldn't see through properly, I thought that's not going to be dead. This is going somewhere. That whole bit I thought was quite clever. It all turned out it was the Baron audition. That whole section I thought was quite cool.
It's a shame that he didn't make it more obvious.
I mean, it is for him, for his
because I mean he set it up, didn't he, with the whole thing about like, I've got you now, I've set you up, like it's in the cloud and all that.
Yeah.
Or was that earlier? Can't remember.
That was a little earlier, I think. That was when he was talking a lot about podcasts, and I was feeling very self-conscious.
Oh yeah, when that came up, that was so funny. I was like,
I'm thinking about dropping Steve a message asking if he wants to jump on a podcast.
Yeah.
Simon's going to come around and demand change to A Quiet Night Inside Number 9. You demand away, Simon. We do what we like.
Oh, that's true. They did kill the singer in Last Gasp behind frosted glass.
Oh yeah, that is true. With smothering with a pillow.
And that was real. Yeah,
that was genuine.
That's real.
Good point.
Speaking of which, and linking to the whole thing of like, polls and fan things. I hadn't seen it, but you shared the kind of BuzzFeed top 20 Inside Number 9.
That was a weird list. I mean, I think it's a weird thing to pick the top 20 of a 31 episode
Well,
series in itself, because that's like saying here are the top 2/3.
yeah, it's too many, especially and
It is.
the list is a list of someone who's not really watched any Inside Number 9. I think.
It did seem that way. I don't know whether we're just. I don't know whether we've just got to the point where we're a bit elitist.
No, I'm cynical because I think it's just BuzzFeed generating clickbait stuff with something that's suddenly become relevant because there's a new series out. But
I don't.
Don't jump on that.
Riding on the cocktail coattails. Cocktails.
You're riding on cocktails.
I thought you can't have a top 20 of Inside Number 9 that doesn't include Bernie Clifton's dressing room or Deadline, as far as I'm concerned. And like, I know what
the winner is in Last Gasp.
Yeah,
quite high.
That's
up.
the thing. Really quite high up. And the little blurby bits just smacked of someone that hadn't really watched any of it.
Mm. Yeah.
There's always a humongous twist. There's not always a humongous twist.
Yeah. I don't really know where to kind of. I'm feeling a bit shaken up by that episode. You know?
I am a little. I didn't know where it was going. I was surprised that the Ninth Circle didn't have 9 series set up right from the off.
Mm.
I feel like that would have been just a function of writing it, to be honest.
Maybe that was a little meta kind of thing about
maybe.
Inside Number 9.
I think it probably was 2 more series could have been commissioned.
Yeah. I was expecting, or I was wondering, well, maybe it's happened, I don't know. But like the whole Dante's 9 Circles of Hell kind of, I was thinking, is this going to be like that Dante and, who is it, Virgil in the poem? And they're like circling through the different parts of hell. And
do you reckon there's something in that?
I don't know, there might be. It would take some kind of...
That'll be for the next time we run through this.
Yeah.
Yeah, very possibly. I mean, I think if you do look further into the kind of the structure of it, there might be something clever going on.
It's too soon to say.
Oh, that's good. But Joe said, anyone else get Mig vibes from Tom and Jerry?
Yeah, I did. Certainly straight at the beginning when the kind of call came through from Simon, and it was... Yeah, that I jumped straight to Mig. Yeah, exactly.
Again.
Again. Who are you?
I also did wonder whether there was going to be a sort of a reveal of Simon as a dark side of Spencer's psyche or something, which didn't happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think front and...
In some ways, I think Spencer is too simple a character for that because that would have been if there was like issues with maybe the production, like the kind of, I don't know, the TV studio or whatever, putting pressure on him to do what he did with the series. And actually, I think how it comes across is like, no, he's just a bit of a crap writer, and the fans are better, like genuinely better writers, and they've almost caught. The idea of the series has caught the fans' imagination, and what it is as a concept is far more powerful than what it was.
You sound like you're switching your allegiances here. You sound like you're starting to take the fan side here and say that basically you should crowdsource your ideas past a certain point.
Well, I mean, certainly by the end of it, when he's there with the book, isn't he? And it's like, well, now I can write great stuff because I haven't written any of it. Like the fans have written all of this stuff.
So, like the obvious comparison is George R.R. Martin. Is that him?
Yeah,
Game of Thrones guy.
Yeah, I don't know. I've not watched.
I think it's him. I can't remember. But so if if you gain the right to be disappointed because you're such a huge fan, and the writings let you down at the end, there must have been something about that writing in the first place that drew you into this program and made you such a huge fan of it. So really, once you're in there, he's got you at that point. It's up to him what he does. And if that's the way that he saw it going, then that's kind of fair enough. And I guess if he ran out of ideas and the writing just got a bit ploddy and a bit slow and
yeah,
I don't know. Why am I getting poor Steve?
Oh, Simon, yes. Misery. Very much misery.
Misery, yeah. In fact, actually, that was one of the things I was thinking this morning when I was thinking about what I'd heard about the episode so far was, are we going to get misery vibes? And I guess he did have him sort of,
basically,
having him under control. And that bit where we saw the power dynamic in full play as he was bringing him his grapefruit as he forced him to work. And then Steve was screwing up pages from the script and things because Simon wasn't a fan of it.
Yeah.
No, well,
no, I'm full on the fan side here now. Yeah, it's I was thinking of Lost as well, another series I didn't watch any of.
I'm just drawing these comparisons to things I've never seen.
Well, Line of Duty I've not watched any of, but I've seen very angry reactions to. Game of Thrones, obviously the same.
Yeah.
Lost was definitely incredibly that. I think probably the biggest. I don't know. It seemed like the biggest reaction to that was.
And I think that was. I guess it's usually these things that promise so much that people build. And I guess this comes down to the fact that fanfic that was being written was probably being written while it was all going on. And so someone is building up this idea of what they think the perfect ending is, and everyone's doing that themselves. Everyone has an idea of where they think something is headed, and so they build up this expectation in their heads of right, what's coming, and then if it doesn't transpire as that, it's a case of well, this is absolutely ridiculous, this is disappointing, this isn't what I'd imagined at all, and I guess the problem is that if you've got millions of people watching, then the number of different paths that can take, it's going to disappoint people. People are going to be disappointed. You can't really account for that when you write, and you can't really try and please everyone.
People would be disappointed if you came out with the thing that they'd written as because it's like, oh, that's what I was expecting. So you can't really win.
No, you can't.
With a finale, with the end of something, you just.
Well, no. I mean, he said that what he was aiming for at the end of it was it was deliberately low key. It was a cerebral dialogue-led show, and he just wanted it to end on that rather than go out with a bang. And that's pretty much what happened with Line of Duty. If you haven't watched all of Line of Duty, then sorry, you probably should have done by now if you're that interested.
I haven't watched any of it, mate.
That's fine. Then don't worry. Then this isn't a problem for you. But that was something that was something that for 6 series, there'd been so many bang moments during it, and at the end of each series, bang, 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 that when they finally gave this reveal that was at the very end of it, that was this isn't all tied to one big thing. This isn't one huge set piece to finish this all up. It's life's dreadful. That's how it is, and that wasn't what people expected. And yet, I saw Jed Mercurio responding to people online, and he was actually posting Nielsen ratings and things and saying, I mean, the Rotten Tomatoes thing was quoted here that it got 31% on Rotten Tomatoes, and Jed Mercurio was saying, right, so you can take your aggregator at websites like that, but we've also polled this many people who are just regular watchers of it, and this percentage of people actually enjoyed it. And I guess it's your vocal outrage that makes the waves. Although being booed at the TV awards seems a bit harsh.
Well, it's no wonder he wanted to cave someone's head in. Oh, you mean actually?
What do you mean?
Who was booed at the TV awards?
It said in here that
in this
they
one,
were, that they were booed at the TV
That's why
awards.
he had to smash his head in on the cobbles. So
Yeah.
so that was a proper fight at the beginning.
But it was a setup.
Yeah, but
I mean, they must have
Gavin
known.
must have.
Well,
He
it
must have
sounds like.
inflicted a bit of pain on Gavin.
Well, yeah, he shoved him over, but I think he
He
shoved him
pretended
over,
to have his head.
and
gave him all
Gavin
the cobble.
pretended to have it. I mean, Gavin's clearly got like props, blood pellets and things to make it look like he's been stabbed or has fallen over and smashed his head open. Maybe Gavin should be getting parts in this.
Yeah.
Gavin has managed to fool Spencer into thinking he's dead twice.
Yeah. Killed him twice.
Nick Mohammed is a genius.
I was so glad to see him arrive after. Oh man, just
Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso is a
coming
delight.
back.
Is a delight. Yeah. He's got such a nice vibe, Nick Mohammed.
Yeah, he does. He's such a laid back guy.
Yeah, just like a real.
Even when he's
presence.
being earnest in Ted Lasso, he still comes across as really laid back.
Yeah. Yeah, the hair was a bit more obvious to spot this week. Did you see it?
I didn't actually. I wasn't looking out for him.
It was in the bedroom on the top shelf next to when the mask, the head turned. Right?
Yeah. Was that the spare room then? Because he said that the severed head prop was in the spare room, didn't he?
Yeah.
Which was weird. He knew that that's where it was. Would he read that in an interview or something?
Yeah, Empire. Was that in the Empire?
Was that in one of the Empire
Where
ones?
he learned about the 2 sugar black coffee and the grapefruit. Yeah. I was wondering. So Isla's saying there was a face mask on the hair. Like there's a little blue. I thought it was like a little blue bandage or something on the face. Of
okay.
Little face mask. Yeah.
And he seems quite laid back too. Why are you laid back, mate?
Me, yeah, I'm laid back. The hair room, nice.
The hair.
I hate puns. Simon says the hair room.
I didn't know if I was expecting some sort of narrative play on Simon Says.
Well, that was another thing I was reflecting on. I haven't had long to reflect on it, but whether the whole thing of like him saying that something's happened and it hasn't happened. Like, there's an element of Simon Says, but obviously it's not Simon Says Nick Mohammed.
It's almost like I was what you.
Oh, it must be true then.
Simon Says I've stabbed Nick Mohammed to death.
But Simon didn't say, it wasn't Simon Says sleep with me. It was
no, it was the Baron.
The Baron.
Yeah.
Piece of shit.
Hairpiece. Okay, well, yeah. So there has a couple of mentions of Spencer's hair.
Yeah, I thought Mark Kermode.
Not the one in the flat, but Kermode hair.
/ David Lynch.
I did like the sweater around the shoulders thing
Yeah.
to wear just around the flat during the day.
Which again, to me, is like, he's not a very good writer. Because he cares, and the whole aesthetic of his flat was very like, no, this guy is taking the money from the merchandise sales. He's taking the money from the fan, everything that the fans are giving him. He hates the fans. He loathes the fans, and yet he is enjoying the proceeds from the fans' sacrifice.
Do you think he started off liking the fans? Do you think he started to hate the fans as they started to turn on him? Because
I don't think he's ever thought about the fans.
You love the fans now, don't you? You love the fans.
I don't think he's even given the fans a second thought at any point during any of his career.
True. He might have started off writing for the fans, but then they just all turned on him. So he thought, well, what the hell? What's the point? What's the point in trying to please this group of people who I will never please anyway?
They didn't turn on him. They were trying to help him. They were trying to assist him in writing something better.
No, you can't do that. You can't. It's like this thing of we've taken control of this now. Was pretty much it, wasn't it? It like,
oh yeah.
Simon was the fans' representative in the flat who was going to help them overthrow
But
the
then he separated
overlord.
himself from the fans because he was like it was that speech, wasn't it? The fans that need fumigate. They're pests. They need fumigating.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, he was baroning at that point as well, though, wasn't he?
He was, yeah. But it was almost like representing what Spencer is, like,
Yes.
and sort of identifying with that.
They need fumigating. Spencer is the Baron.
Yes.
The totalizing gay Baron, apparently. What is going on here, Simon?
He's off. Simon is saying stuff.
I feel like that's not a cryptic crossword clue, is it, Simon?
There was almost a reference, wasn't there, to when
the word search.
when Reese is bad acting within the acting.
Oh, another cracking example of
Done
bad
himself,
acting within
yeah.
acting, the overacting.
Where is your justice now?
Yeah.
Give a badge and a word search to
A
him.
word search, not a crossword. He's not clever enough for it to be a word search. People who listen to podcasts have unhealthy relationships with the content creators. Look, I haven't demanded anything from Reese and Steve at any point at all. Although that could change in season 8. Oh yeah, Joe's got a point. Maybe your rewrite of Lacachette will get made.
I think we should definitely get that done. Yes. No, Tim's saying people who listen to podcasts have unhealthy relationships. We're the content creators, mate.
Well, good, yeah, we're the content creators.
This
That's
is pure
weird,
content.
isn't it? Like, this is content within content, though, isn't it? We're secondary content creators, piggybacking on someone else's content.
Which is where I felt very seen in this episode, because it was... Yeah.
It was a bit relentless. It's just that it was too much podcast. There was too much picking on podcasts.
It was a little bit too close to the bone.
What was the... there was another podcast lobbed in as well. They were going to announce the thing on another Ninth Circle fan podcast.
Yeah. And that's the difference. It seems like there's loads of Ninth Circle podcasts.
Whereas this...
I'd like you to do that, Simon. So Simon said
I mean, that was the point of us starting this one, because no one else
started a podcast reviewing A Quiet Night Inside.
Oh, well, hang on a minute. This is turning a bit onion, isn't it?
I love this. This is really difficult to edit.
What?
Just
chat.
Everything that's going on here. You're making my tomorrow really difficult.
Look, if this is the content, this is the content.
So who's Queen Bee of the fandom?
Who is Queen Bee? What, this fandom? Our fandom or the Inside Number 9 fandom?
I think it's safe to say this is about our fandom now. I think
you people.
I think it's standalone. Jokes. Lols.
Yeah. I thought when they were going through the message board stuff as well, they ruined my show. Very much an ownership there thing, and yeah, I guess you could say that if Spencer is so uninterested in it, then maybe someone else should get a chance to have a stab.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, if they want more as well, like, yeah, if he's not bothered about writing more, then by all means.
But then you lose control of your creation a bit.
Yeah. Like
So let's say, how would you feel if a Twin Peaks fan group put out
good point.
something that was like an addendum to the ending of The Return that retconned a load of stuff that happened?
I guess I'd have to know I don't know.
I guess it's up to you if you actually engage with it. You just go, nah, not for me.
I mean, you know that Mark Frost and David Lynch care about Twin Peaks as well. I just don't feel like Spencer cares about this. I don't think he's ever cared.
So he's the issue here, and so
I mean,
you feel like in this circumstance, the fans have a right to feel aggrieved.
Well, this more or less happened actually, and it didn't go well in series 2 of Twin Peaks after David Lynch had to secede to the pressure to reveal the killer of Laura Palmer, and then the series just went way off track, like because it had no purpose anymore. But it still carried on for another a lot of episodes, too many episodes. And it was kind of fans of the show directing and writing. It wasn't like a fandom, but it was like people who were into the show, who were directors and writers. And it was just like, you've kind of missed the point, I think, here a little bit. But
I think there's something to be said for. I mean, if you take, I can't believe we've got this far without mention about toxic fandoms, without mentioning what's happened with Star Wars in the last few years as well. That's just out of control. Mate, of people who cancelled. Are just
don't bring up something like that. We'll get destroyed.
Like it's just that's an example of actually fans who are now directing things, because I mean, if you're a film director at this point in time who is directing sci-fi movies, there's every chance that you are a massive fan of Star Wars because it's what you grew up with.
Yeah.
And so you've now got people who are making Star Wars films who are contributing to a universe that they grew up loving and are now having people screaming at them for being dreadful human beings because they made a film that didn't represent exactly what they wanted to see on the screen, without realizing that it's still really a Star Wars. It's a Star Wars film. All of them were just Star Wars films. Yeah. You had lightsabers, you had laser battles, you had aliens, and it was all great. It was all good fun. Yeah. Just why do people get so angry about these things?
I think it touches something deep within people, doesn't it?
Which I guess is good, that it draws people in to that extent. And the same here with this, and the shows that it's paralleling. It's not paralysing it. The shows that it's kind of reflecting is that you do have people who, I guess, they feel that they've ploughed so much of their time and their mental energy into investing into something that they feel like they're owed something at the other end of it. And I think for the most part, they've therefore got that relationship wrong.
Yeah. And I think this is where actually Inside Number 9 is totally different. And I know it's different anyway because it's not a kind of serialized series. So you don't have the same kind of pressure on concluding a series. But I do feel like there's an openness within what I've seen of people who enjoy Inside Number 9 that is just, it's a joyful thing of like, what they're going to show us, like what have they got in store, we'll take it, whatever they give us.
Yeah.
And I think that's
good. I guess you don't, and it's kind of the reason I was a little bit surprised by some of the negative reaction the other day, is that you don't have to invest in this in the same way. And I think it was in that YouTube comment off the back of the last one where it was, well, I move on to the next one.
Yeah.
That's just how this is. You don't have those characters to really get behind and just pour your mental energy into.
Sort of,
week by week thinking what's going to happen to this person next, and just you don't know what's coming week by week with this. And so it doesn't really provoke that same sense of I'm in this, I guess.
Yeah.
But I think that's a positive with this.
Yeah, definitely.
And why hopefully won't provoke. And also, like, there's no ending to this, is there? That's the other thing, is that you don't have to write a finale for an anthology series because you just don't do another one. No. That's it.
Exactly. They set out on the right foot starting this one. So, I mean, probably don't have a huge amount more to say. Maybe just like the twists. The twist. The twists.
The twists. I wasn't massively surprised when Gavin turned up alive, if I'm honest.
Were you... No.
It wasn't no way. It was that figures.
Simon said he dealt with the body. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably didn't throw him in the Thames.
No.
He doesn't look big enough to be able to carry a grown man on his own.
No, he doesn't.
It takes quite a lot to carry a dead body on your own.
You would know.
I do know.
From a past life.
Yeah, so that was twist 1 was Gavin turning up, then Gavin getting killed.
Twist 2.
It was twist 2. Yeah, twist 1 and 1.5.
Twist 3, 2 / I don't know where we are anymore with twists. More twister. There was the fact that he was just doing the Baron speech or a Baron thing, method, acting bit.
Yeah.
He wasn't actually trying to.
What a scene that
actually
was!
assault
Well,
Spencer.
just to say,
it was
with because the music, like the tension in, or the kind of resignment, the resigned nature, resignation of Spencer. As
he just lay
bed.
Down on the bed,
and then everything just changes as he turns to
flips him
switcheroo. Yeah, gives him a good suffocating.
That was pretty vicious. I think Lauren said that was pretty Guillaume.
It took a long time.
Yeah. It was one of those uncomfortably long times.
It was probably one of those more realistic suffocating or smotherings than you normally get on TV. They're normally like, can you keep it to like 8 seconds? And it's like, well, that's not long enough. That wouldn't be realistic.
No, I want to see a jerking arm. You don't often see a bloodied face as a result of it either, do you?
No,
because his glasses had mashed into his face. That's not.
That was.
You don't really see a violently,
good touch,
damaged face.
Yeah. So then that was twist 2.1.
2.37.
And then he goes out and then realizes he's died twice, but he's still alive. Gavin. So that's twist, the next one.
Much like Rasputin at this point, Nick Mohammed.
Yeah. Yes. And then I suppose that him having his head caved in wasn't really a twist.
It was a natural
Chekhov's
finishing point. It was where this was going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Andy seems to know too much about suffocating someone.
That is not my area of expertise. I just think it takes more than 8 seconds. But I don't know. Horses for courses.
I mean, previously we have suggested that you could speak to us about how to get away with crime. We're not painting ourselves in a very good light these days, are we?
No. Good.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have much more to say really on this.
No, I think this was a bit easier to talk about than the last one.
It was not. It was slower, so it was easier to sort of remember bits.
I've like 2.5 full sides of writing out of this episode.
There you go.
It was quite a bit dense.
Did you have like a favourite line?
I did, but I remember hearing it and going, "That's a cracker," but I can't remember what it was. What was yours?
Well, mine was when he said he'd rather cut off his dick and sit in vinegar.
That was it. I did write that down. Yeah. That was vicious.
That I think I heard a little chuckle because again you were watching it. You were watching about probably a minute and a half ahead of me.
You said you'd rather cut off your dick and sit in vinegar than write another series.
It's lovely. Very nice.
It was quite lucid, almost evocative.
Yeah, the end. I was like anticipating. Okay, something is happening at the end.
No,
when I could see. No, not Chekhov's vinegar.
Chekhov's dick vinegar.
No, when I was watching, because I had like half an eye on your reactions to what you were watching.
Most of my reactions were at podcast bits. Wincing.
At the end, you were just like, you had this look of like shock of disbelief on your face. I was like, oh, what's coming? What's coming?
No dick vinegar. Nick Mohammed being forced to sit in a bath of vinegar, having had his dick cut off at the end.
That would have been a twist.
It would have been a twist
that we all saw coming, so to speak.
I
don't know what
you can't end a podcast on
that. DWHRGRT. The hair was in the spare room. Sorry to ruin that. If room. It was in the spare room. Simon says.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, this has been fun.
Has.
Should we do it again next week?
Thanks for joining us again, guys.
Yes, Tim, that is true. That is something actually
grated slightly on you.
Yeah, the Inside number 9 podcast tells you.
Hang on a minute. Are you criticising, as a fan, the podcast being put out by the creators of Inside number 9? And you're thinking you can.
I think they're just a bit quick to tell you where the hair is.
Oh, you. Sounds a bit like you're trying to push the direction of their program in a certain way.
It's fine. It's fine. Do what you want. It's your show. Cool. Well, thanks everyone for joining us.
Thank you.
It's always great to.
It's fun to talk.
Yeah.
It's good to talk.
It is indeed. Cool. Yeah, I'm done. Are you done?
I'm done.
We're all done.
We're all done.
Well, we'll see you again next week. Have a good one.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. You stop recording now.
Yeah.
Or we can just deal with this chat.